Hello everybody, it is Friday the 13th of October. Now I want to talk about the idea that the angels will serve you. As it says in the Bible, your sons will marry you and the angels will serve you. And what the meaning of that actually is. What is the true meaning of the words? What is hidden in the word that is angel? What is hidden in the labels, in the names that are given to different angels? There is a meaning in there. Before I go there, I want to say something, and that is that those that wrote those texts, you could say they were scientists. And it was the science of the unknown, of the spiritual, of the unseen. But they were working at it as a science, every much as our scientists now look at the solid objects. They were looking at the unseen in that way. And the knowledge they imparted in those texts, you could say, was scientific knowledge of the unseen. They were not talking about undefined things in other realms. They had a knowledge that they imparted to others. So those words have clear definitions, clear meanings. Now, I listened to another video yesterday about Lilith. And here's the thing, that there are so many different stories out there and so many different texts. And that quite often I think somebody who was not, let's say, one of the insiders to whom the whole meaning was revealed, but they got hold of the words. And again, in a carnal mind, seeing the picture without the meaning, like the picture of Lilith as a woman, and then started spinning stories around those characters. But then we're moving from the realm of a true knowing, scientific knowing, into the realm of superstition. And then when we read those texts, we really need to discern whether that actually imparts a real knowledge or whether that is a story of superstition. And they are both about. We know it is a knowledge is that we can see it working in this world. That's when we know. Because that is how they knew. They believed on the Spirit, they believed on the power thereof, and that it would work things in this world. And really they knew by observation. Observation of each other, observation of nature. They were watchers. And then a knowledge, an epiphany or whatever would come to them. What is actually moving that? What is creating that? And then they wrote it into those texts and they hid the meaning in words and in pictures so that only a few would understand. Anyway, so the meaning of angels, the meaning of, how would they serve you? Again, I was thinking yesterday, what do angels serve? And angels are servants of gods. They are the servants of gods. And then again, think about, or go by the definition. I say, see if this works for you. look at the text, look at what you're saying. That's the definition that I'm proposing here and that I'm going with myself. But that is my decision. See if that makes sense in this world. So God, the definition of God as an intention and as something that has knowledge. Obviously, knowledge would create the intention, because if you do not have knowledge of something, you would have no intentions about that. So the gathering of knowledge and then the creation of an intention, and that is what the angels serve. That intention. You have those energies, like angels, are being created by something that is in being, that has life. It is an energy created by life. Intentions, the same. An intention has no form, it cannot work anything unless it works through an energy of life that gives it form. Right, angels. We're at angels. So, angels, guides of gods, messengers of gods, servants of gods, of intentions. That is what they do. Then let's go with guides first, what I've seen. How are you being guided by an angel? Again, we're talking about an energy that brings you a knowledge of something, and that is, again, that's the messenger part. Yeah? You have an energy that brings you a knowledge of something. In Jesus, it was the energy of compassion that brought that knowledge that led to healing and all the other things in this world. Every angel has got a different energy and a specific knowledge. Satan, the energy of fear and the knowledge of danger. Azrael is the emotion of sadness, and then the knowledge of loss. So how, if first of all, you would need to be an intention. For the angels to serve you, you would have to be a god, and that means you would have to have a clear intention, and that's all that it means. You have a clear intention. You are envisaging an outcome, and you want to go toward that outcome. And then they will serve you. They will give you knowledge of danger. They will give you knowledge of loss. Which basically means don't go there. It does not serve your outcome. It is, again, the danger is to your outcome. The danger is to your intention. The danger, it will not serve you to go that way. That's what it says. So then those, in a way you could say then your angels, if they have knowledge of things that will happen, then that is that light that goes before you. It is your own light that goes before you and tells you what is ahead and which way to turn to get to your desired outcome. And then the angels will serve you, but then you have to be the intention. And you have to be the embodiment of the intention, and you cannot waver from that intention. 100%. Now, and here is what intention should we have. Again, there is your free will. You choose the intention. You are the one that chooses the intention. And that intention will be given to without judgment. Judgment was with you in the first instant when you created an intention. And then if we are of sound minds, we should have intentions that serve us We are connected to those around us, and they are a part of who you are. Make no mistake, it's becoming very clear to me at the moment because my daughter is in hospital. And so it has become very clear to me that my daughter is a part of me. She's a part of who I am. And when, sorry, and when, then when we create intentions, being of sound mind, we must know who we are. And that it is not just us, but that those around us that are truly, deeply connected to us are a part of who we are. And we need to take that into consideration when we create intentions, how it would impact on others, because we are creating, if we create the intention and we are being guided, and as I said, the guides, the messengers, the servants serve the intention. Yeah, you have created it and they will serve it. And if you then have not thought about the outcome or the effect of you will be given, and you may well create the wrong outcome if you have not considered all the variables. I mean, mostly when we go, we create good and bad because we didn't see it all, and then we would have learned something, especially with the bad part. But then again, somebody said once that we are creators in training. I think that's a good way of putting it. In fact, the whole Bible is from the awakening in the garden when they became as God, in the aspect of that they knew good and bad, in the awakening of self, which was the first seed from which everything else would grow. The knowledge of angels, knowledge of guides, of fear, of compassion, and of others. There's others in that book. There's we can see sadness in that. You can see greed. You can see lust. It's all in there. And that is really growing in the knowledge of self. And that is what a lot of esoteric texts speak about. It is a knowledge of self. It's a knowledge of your energies. Or, and here comes, if you have no clear intention by yourself, or you think that something else should rule over you, you should then, you will be. If that's your intention, if your intention is to be ruled over, you will be ruled over. Again, you will be guided to that point. The angels will serve that intention and they will get you there to the point where either you are completely ruled over, if that was your will. And the last thing I want to say, and I want to say that very clearly now, I said that this knowledge is grown out of a being, of something that has life. It is life itself that needs to create those energies. And then if you talk about a God that is not of this world, whose kingdom is not of this world, you are talking about a being like yourself. Something that has form. Yeah? Their form may not be entirely like us because we are carbon-based, and their matter might be a different matter. But you are still talking about beings. And then are those beings God? If they have a clear intention and they are the fullness of that intention. If they have knowledge, then yes, they are gods. If they have knowledge of their own energies and of the energies of others and how to work them correctly, their angels serve them, then they are powerful gods. We could have that knowledge about ourselves. And it's only when we become that, we know ourselves in that way, and we stand firm in I am. I shall create my own intentions, and the angels shall serve me. And then really go the way of, that's what we must do, the way that they gathered knowledge in those mystic texts, or in the spiritual texts. We must become watchers of our own feelings, of our own thoughts, of our own intentions, and see the outcome that they create in this world, and start to understand what it is we are creating and how we are creating it. And that is the path humanity must go, absolutely must go, because that is true to our nature. That is true to ourselves, that is who we are. And if we do not know who we are, we will be ruled over by something that does know who we are and can manipulate it. Where their energies send messages to us and overpower us, so to speak. Their intentions start to rule over us because we are being overpowered by the messages that we cannot rise above it. We have no defense shield against them, and we are being ruled over, and that is what is happening in this world, has happened all over. This world has been ruled over by an intention, or intentions. I would say there's more than one. You know, it's a war of the gods here. They all want dominion over this world. And we are stood in the middle of it, a spiritual being with powers of its own that could create its own intentions and would be given to its own intentions. And we're not doing it. Because we believe that we are nothing, or we believe that spirit and flesh are completely separate from each other, which they are not. One is created by the other. Matter creates spirit, spirit creates matter. Now, matter creates spirit, yes, but that spirit should be your servant. If then it comes back at you to rule over you, as it did with Jesus, there was the knowledge of an angel that brought that message, the energy of compassion and the knowledge. But then he was overpowered. He became that angel bodily. He became the bodily image of that, and that is not what should have happened. That is, the knowledge was given to serve, not to become you. And again, there is where I think he went completely the wrong way. Just again heard John St. Julian saying, Muslims, well, they think Jesus was a prophet, not the Son of God. And I just sent him a message back. Do you know the meaning of the word son? Because if you don't, you have no idea what it is you're talking about. Sons are the ways of God, the ways and knowledge is being used. This way, the Son of Man, it was that knowledge actually served us. It worked for us. It created miracles. It worked for us. In Jesus, in the end, being a Son of God, of something that is not of this world, That knowledge became him, not because it would serve Jesus or serve humanity, but because it would serve that God. So what was a servant to humanity to start with became a servant to another being, to another intention. Jesus went the wrong way when he became a son of God, something that would serve another God. This is where we must understand what these texts are telling us, because they are the way to our freedom, to our independence, and to a knowledge of ourselves that will serve us in this world. It will become our servant. And then we should be of sound mind of how we use that. What intentions we create and what outcomes they will create. Anyway, I leave it at that for today. And I speak to you again soon. Bye.